You mentioned biologics. So what exactly does it mean? Can you break that down?
Sure. So, we're using this phrase stem cells because that's been around for decades, right? And we started identifying the stem cells. Well, in clinical practice, 10 or 20 years ago, it became popular to start doing something called platelet-rich plasma. PRP. And this is a very low level, sort of elementary level, regenerative offering where you have your own blood drawn, multiple tubes, spun in a tabletop centrifuge, and you ignore the red blood cells in the plasma, and in between you have the buffy coat, right? This layer of platelets and growth factors, and you can pipette that out and take it from all the tubes and add it together and make sort of a pro healing growth factor friendly substance that you can inject into a tennis elbow, maybe a tendonitis, ligament strain. It's used for many other things, cosmetic purposes. You can do microneedling in the face. It's called a vampire facial, for example. You can do it in the scalp for thinning hair. Why? It has a little bit of regenerative capacity. And this is now very popular. You can get this anywhere. Typically, it takes multiple treatments. Stem cells is just a way more powerful way to approach that. And usually you don't need multiple treatments with the stem cells. So that's beneficial. And you could take stem cells out of your own body, but I don't know about you, but when I take my car to get the oil change, I don't put the old oil back in it. I want some young, fresh oil. So I like these perinatal donated products. They're tested, they're safe. They come from FDA certified labs here in the US. And then we can use those. But there's yet a third biologic we should mention, which I spend more time with these days. So there's an interesting fact that was learned in that if I were to give someone some stem cells in their vein, intravenous circulating stem cells, those cells would be gone in 10 to 14 days. They would be done and gone. But the benefits would last perhaps longer, if not some of them forever, in fighting inflammation, helping your body repair here and there, and things like that. Not unlike Dr. Drapeau's, product, right? Helps circulating stem cells that go around and do their thing. Well, these stem cells are gone in 10 to 14 days. How does the benefit continue on if the stem cells are gone? Well, the answer is the stem cells didn't do all the work. They actually communicated with our cells, both with our stem cells and our own cells. And they communicate through cell-to-cell signaling, which are small vesicles. You might say small, but cells are small. And I would say, I know cells are small, but these vesicles that are given off by cells are even smaller. Whereas cells are measured in diameter by microns, 10 to the minus 6 meters. These small bubbles, these small vesicles, these messaging particles are 1/1000th that size, 10 to the minus 9 meters, or measured across in nanometers, typically 30 or 50 to 150 nanometers across. So you call nanoparticles is another buzz phrase. So these extracellular vesicles are given off. All our cells make these communication particles, and they go to neighboring cells and sort of influence the neighborhood and tell them, hey, we're all behaving this way, behave with us. It influences, it's got mRNA in these vesicles that are delivered and taken in by endocytosis to those cells. And those mRNAs help dictate what proteins are made. Do we want a chronic inflammatory profile of an older degenerated person, or do we want an anti-inflammatory optimal mode, youthful restorative healing mode, and a whole different set of proteins are made by those cells. There are small peptides and growth factors, and there are even heat shock proteins. So you probably know from the Finnish sauna, data, if you go into a hot sauna, it's very healthy for you, right? You release all these cytokines and anti-inflammatory interleukins. Well, those heat shock proteins are found in all species, including plants. And those heat shock proteins are very primitive, small peptides that influence our DNA and what genes are called upon. And the heat shock protein is not the other one. Well, you can mimic that. You can get them from exercise, hot sauna, cold plunge, fasting, and other ways. But you can also get them through these stem cell derived, healthy extracellular vesicle signal. So we give you stem cells. Those stem cells deliver thousands of these extracellular vesicles to your cells, giving them a message. So that message is amplified to your cells. Your cells are doing the healing work like you did when you were younger. Think about it. If you're a child and you cut your finger playing with your friends, you cry, your mother cleans it up and, puts some antiseptic and a bandage, kisses it, and sends you on your way. And 3 days later, you're taking a bath and the Band-Aid falls off and the scab is almost completely healed. But you look at a 75-year-old, they cut themselves, they're bruised. It takes weeks to heal. Why is that? Because their stem cell activity is not that youthful, restorative, wonderful protoplasm that we want. So we can simulate that. And that's the basis of regenerative medicine, is to use that knowledge to cheat, to hack, and to have someone have some youthful healing in an area where they need it. So we now can go directly, skip the stem cells and go directly to these extracellular vesicles, which for short, we call them exosomes. And these are stem cell derived exosomes. And we like them for a couple of reasons. One is they do the work of the stem cells. We can get a more highly concentrated dose for a smaller cost because they're so widely abundant, because they come from amniotic fluid, which is a large volume compared to the small umbilical cord in Wharton's jelly, where the stem cells come from. 3, they penetrate through all the tissues better. They cross the blood-brain barrier where stem cells do not. In fact, if you think about a pregnant woman, usually her skin is all aglow, it's healthy, her hair and nails are growing robustly. Usually she feels good and her mood is good, maybe some back pain from carrying the weight. But why is that? She's getting a daily dose of exosomes through the placental barrier. The stem cells aren't crossing into her bloodstream, but the exosomes are. So these stem cell-derived exosomes are really a very high quality and cutting edge regenerative medicine tool given to us by stem cells. And we can get the stem cell benefits from exosomes. Now, stem cells do have some other advantages. They have a honing mechanism if you get them intravenous, but we're using quite a few of these exosomes, and we're getting at least as good a results as we were with the stem cell treatments. And hopefully we can develop this idea more, because it's blossoming like crazy.
Before we dive back into this incredible conversation, there are a couple of exciting opportunities with disruptive doctors that I want to share with you guys. First, if you're a doctor who's thinking about moving into a non-clinical career but don't know where to start, or even if you're a doctor who's on the fence thinking if you should leave medicine or stay, the non-clinical career pathfinder by Disruptive Doctors is designed specifically for you. The problem why we doctors think that there's no opportunities for us out there is because we've been trained in sick care all our lives, but that's not true. Healthcare is a huge ocean. What you learn in this workshop is discovering yourself, where to find all the opportunities within healthcare, your game plan, and insights from me and Vivek on how to do it. And the best part is it comes with a 14-day guarantee. By the end of this workshop, you gain so much clarity on what you need to do, or if staying in medicine or leaving for non-clinical practice is for you. Our proven framework has helped more than 1,000 doctors on finding a fulfilling career. So stop wasting your time trying to figure it out all on your own in the dark. So sign up for our next workshop on our website. Next, mark your calendar for Disruptive Doctors Annual Conference and Exhibition. It's happening this 20th and 21st of September. This conference isn't about fitting into label. It's about expanding what is possible in healthcare and reimagining the doctor's role in it. This is where forward-thinking doctors come together to drive real change in healthcare. For those who refuse to settle, this flagship event brings together doctors from diverse backgrounds to explore fresh approaches, share ideas, and connect with a community of doctors to impact healthcare differently. Remember to get your tickets on our website at disruptive-doctors.com/conference 2025. And finally, if you haven't already, please download the Disruptive Doctors app. It is a global hub where you can connect, collaborate, share experiences with doctors across the globe, and you don't have to be limited by geography. This is more than an app, it's a movement. So be part of the community of doctors who are impacting healthcare differently. And also, can you do me a huge favor? If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please be sure to subscribe, because it's subscribers like you that help us bring better guests for you. So whether it's the workshop, the conference, the app, or just subscribing to the channel, be sure to do it now. Now, let's get back to the conversation.
Join Disruptive Doctors. Oh, Disruptive Doctors. Impact